Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this meeting and update on the Regional Issues Subcommittee. My name is Nikita Gibson. I'm an associate member of the Caribbean Actuarial Association, the SOA, and the IFOA, and I'm based in Barbados. For the period 2021 to 2023, I'm the student representative, chair of the Regional Issues Subcommittee, and the team lead for the Regulatory, Governmental, and Compliance Initiative. Today, I'm joined by the various team leads of the initiatives to provide an update on what we have accomplished and what are our future plans as a subcommittee. Here is a little about us. We focus on 4 key areas of regional initiatives: industry growth, DEI, climate change, regulatory, governmental, and compliance. The subcommittee is new to the CAA structure and reports into the Societal Steering Committee, a new committee under President Simone's guidance. Earlier this year, we introduced our team on social media, so feel free to check that out. Here, we can see the leadership team with Rohan Hall.
Hi everyone, Rohan hailing from Jamaica.
Tony Marie Bobart.
Hi everyone, Tony Marie from Trinidad.
Both are whom are co-chairs of the Climate Change Initiative. And then we have Ayodele Marshall.
Hi everyone, I'm Ayodele Marshall from Barbados, currently based in Bangkok, Thailand.
And the chair of the Industry Growth Committee. And lastly, we have Mark Longman.
Hi everyone, Mark Longman, originally from Jamaica, now based in Canada.
The wider team consists of a wide range of actuarialists and actuaries within or from the region who practice in various industries. The team includes, from top left to bottom right, Monet Renata Holderseal, Stuart South, Barry-Ann Bryant, Shakila Harris, Sonia Babb, Christy Alexander, Javon Walker, Adelette Grant, Lakshmi Connell, Bertha Pilgrim, Alana Adams, Britta Hay, Rohan Beckles, Shaquille Worrell, and Mike Smith. This team has been working assiduously to keep you, our members, abreast of and up to date with what's happening regionally and internationally. And I take this opportunity to thank them for being a part of this subcommittee. Without further delay, let's hear from the initiative leads in the following order: industry growth, DEI, climate change, and RGC. Over to you, Ayo.
Thanks, Nikita, and thanks to all who have contributed to the activities of the Industry Growth Initiative so far. So this initiative will give information on new and emerging areas in which actuaries and those with a strong actuarial background work. So beyond the traditional spheres such as health, life, general insurance, and pensions, and highlight emerging areas such as banking, data science, investments, academia, just to name a few. Among the colleagues who contribute to this initiative, some of us work in these emerging areas and chose this particular initiative because of the personal attachment and interest. Key goals of this initiative are to highlight diverse areas in which we as actuaries, mathematicians, and statistical practitioners work, and to show how the inherent skills we possess and the ones developed through work and those grueling exams can be applied to just about any quantitative job or assignment. So here's a breakdown of what has been done so far. To launch the initiative, the task force published an article which outlines the history of the profession in its current form and shows the path from its origins in insurance and pensions to the new and emerging areas in which some of us work. Thanks to all those who contributed to the article, and this article has been published on the social media pages of the CAA. So for our premiere interview, we interviewed Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, Minister of Finance, Jamaica, who was gracious enough to grant us an interview outlining his path from his quantitative background to the role he now fills. For those of you who don't know, Dr. the Honorable Minister Clark worked in the actuarial field for some time, even working with our esteemed Daisy Cope, and he has a quantitative background. He isn't a qualified actuary, but he credits his background in this field for allowing him to function so efficiently in his role as minister. Next, we will publish interviews monthly on actuaries who have experience in new and emerging areas. We have quite a diverse list, so we think we can feature one monthly and then make it a quarterly feature as time goes on. I've distributed the list previously. We will interview peers working in banking, data science, investments, and academia. And feel free to suggest any actuaries that can be added to this list that their path will encourage and inspire. Additionally, we will highlight the new exam structures that cater to the growing needs of the profession. Some of you know predictive analytics and enterprise risk management, but there's a recently launched banking fellowship track being offered by the South African Actuarial Society, and we've published some information on this banking fellowship track. We plan to interview one of the actuaries who's actually working on this fellowship track. Our colleagues in the Member Support Committee are interviewing Morris Burkhart, who works in data science at the Facebook, and they've invited us from the RISD to the meeting. So we're hoping that these kinds of stories will inspire and encourage and get people thinking about the various benefits to this career path and the various fields in which the skills can be applied. Before I hand back over to our chair, Nikita, I just want to remind everyone to weigh in on any proposed interviewees and feel free to make suggestions for any other ways we can promote this initiative. Thank you, and back to you, Nikita.
Thank you, Ayo. So now let's head over to DEI with Mark.
Thank you, Nikita. The Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion team is tasked with highlighting and tackling the paradigms that seemed to define our profession. This may mean challenging the identity of some of our most reputable members. However, there's no doubt that cultivating an environment where all professionals from different backgrounds and identities can do their best work deserves support from us all. And this is exactly what we have sought out to do in the development of the mandate for DEI, which reads, "It is our commitment to acknowledge, support, and advocate for the destruction of inequities and the persecution of our communities, and to promote the upliftment and inclusion of people from all walks of life, irrespective of race, gender, sexual preferences, and class." In addition, we demonstrated our support in June to the annual Pride Month, where we were able to gain the backing of the CAA board to release a statement in support of Pride Month through our social media channels. In the coming months, we will be providing an educational note on unconscious biases, where we will provide descriptions of these biases and real-world examples of how they appear. We anticipate that this note will help our members recognize unconscious biases and provide steps to avoid making them. We will also shine the spotlight on success stories of effecting change in the corporate culture. This will demonstrate a successful contribution to the profession and to the society on a whole. All in all, useful resources will be provided to support our members facing DEI-related issues and provide a framework to effect the changes we all want to see. Back over to you, Nikita.
Thank you, Mark. So over to climate change with Tony Marie and Rohan.
Thank you, Nikita. Our first event for the Climate Change Initiative this year was a webinar focused on the transition risk of climate change, with speakers Craig Johnson of the Bank of Canada and Michael Tenser of the Climate Change and Sustainability Committee at the CIA. To start the webinar, we had a very thought-provoking message from Professor Avinash Prasad on a unified approach to climate change in CARICOM.
This webinar was prefaced by a short video produced by our initiative on the different types of climate risks, as well as a video from the IFOA on their climate risk and sustainability course. If you missed it, don't worry, you can find it on the CAA's YouTube page or on other social media pages.
Our plans for the remainder of this year include another webinar on physical risk associated with climate change.
And we will continue to produce short videos. We will be having some interviews with various persons and organizations which have great stake in the climate change space. Over to you, Nikita.
Thanks, Tony Marie and Rohan. Regulatory, governmental, and compliance. Our initiative and our objectives are to effectively monitor and report on the regional and international changes or updates in regulatory, legislative, and compliance frameworks, which will impact the industry and day-to-day life of our actuaries. What we've accomplished this year so far is the first issue of the RGC, which was on economic substance in Barbados. And for all actuaries within the region, this is a particularly interesting article because it highlights what the role of the actuary might be turning into for the region. Our future plans are quarterly publications on what's happening in the region in the areas of regulatory, governmental, or compliance. So if something's happening on your island, in your country, feel free to reach out to us in order for us to highlight what's happening in any of these three areas. We also will be doing an article on the Barbados National Insurance Scheme, as it's quite topical at this moment, but don't fear. We will be working with the Industry Growth Initiative to do an article on the role of the actuary in Social Security, which will hopefully highlight all the security schemes within the region. So, as you've heard from the leads, we have accomplished quite a bit for our new team with more to come. Thank you for joining us in this update from the Regional Issues Subcommittee. If you're interested in learning more about or joining these initiatives, feel free to contact us at caa.subscriptions@caribbeanactuaries.com. Also, don't forget to like, follow, and share our content on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram at Caribbean Actuarial Association. So bye everyone, and thanks for joining us.